You guys know what time it is. Welcome back to Trash Trades. I'm Luca. This is VJ. We're back with some,
What up?
we're back with some trashy trades. We got to learn from some trades.
What's poppin'?
Interesting week this week. We had some earnings. We had some fucking red folder. You know how it is. We're back. We're always trading every day. We're here to bring you some good content, educational, learn from trades, and maybe we can become better traders. Maybe that's a maybe, or maybe not. What do you think,
I
VJ?
mean, maybe.
I mean,
I
maybe.
mean, we're trying. We're trying.
We're trying.
We doing the
We doing
work.
the thing. We doing the thing.
We doing the thing. Absolutely.
We doing it.
We think. We
Maybe.
thinking for sure.
Maybe.
We thinking
We could be stuck
absolutely.
here forever. In 40 years, VJ's fucking old as fuck, and I'm 40.
Oh
And
man.
yeah, we might still be here. Who knows?
No.
Who
We're
knows?
progressing.
Who knows?
I think
Maybe
we're
we're not.
progressing. I mean,
Maybe
why'd you tell
we
them?
think we're progressing, but we're not moving. Ever think about that?
Yeah, that's if it's a simulation. I'm already over that. Is a
Is it a
simulation? It's a
simulation? I
simulation.
don't think so.
I mean, there's no proof of whether or not it is, but it's if you really think about it for the reasoning on why Elon believes in it and other people do.
He
At
said
some
it's
point, if
50-50.
civil, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
I would
Elon
agree,
is
actually.
religious though. He's half Christian, half algorithm simulation shit. Swear down.
Oh yeah, but the thing is though, yeah, that's
We
fine.
could be
But
stuck in an
if
infinite
the
time loop.
reasoning, yeah, the reasoning is if a civilization gets advanced enough to make a simulation that's
Oh
real,
yeah.
then eventually that they would, and that people would get into it, and there'd be a certain sect of people that would just stay in it, and that would just become as real or
Mm.
more real because they spend more time there than actual reality. And at a certain point, they can't
Oh
really tell the
yeah.
difference.
So we're for real
And
in this shit.
so we don't actually know. Yeah.
We yeah. I don't know, man. Whatever you guys want
See,
to
it's
think.
a thing. We're going way on the deep end, but
For
it's the
real.
thing if you're talking about proof, you can only confirm in the world that you're in. You can never prove anything's real because you can't even prove that what you're feeling, what's happening, everything that we see is real. There's enough things to confirm it to be real enough that we have to, do what we got to do. But there's no way to prove anything outright.
Maybe
You know,
trading in the financial markets is like a layer deeper into the matrix in the simulation. So maybe we're
I think it is.
coding the simulation of
In a
everything
way,
financial
I
markets.
think I think we're testing the code.
Yeah, I like that. We're testing the code, testing the human nature and the fucking cycles of economies. I think we're listen. We're the fucking call us Neo and whatever whoever the fuck VJ is, because we're breaking in the matrix. Obviously, we're getting a little
Whee!
deeper. We fucking getting into this trading, exploiting these economies. Who knows? Maybe we'll get good. Maybe we'll have economies of our own.
Oh, we're gonna
We'll
get
never know.
good.
Anyway, we
We're
got
gonna
a
get good.
fucking good ass trade, learning, productive. We ain't being fucking slacking. We improving, etc. Roll the intro.
Order filled.
Okay,
That was a nice one.
thank you. Go for
That's
it,
good.
Beach.
I like it. All right, guys. So I pulled this out to the hour. This is today, so the chart is a little bit less sexy than normal, but we do what we do. We do what we do. I'll explain sort of what's going on here. So, um, this is previous week low. This is previous day high. Meaning, and today is what, Thursday? So we started the week off around here. This consolidation. This is the end walk. See week open right here, and then we pushed up. Now, usually, if you have a bullish start to the week, you'll often have a bearish end to it.
Mm.
Sort of finishing the market maker model, and it depends on like what you're thinking on the higher time frame. And there is reasoning to believe, we had a nice set of drops for a while here. So we've been very bullish for a while. I'm sure you were in a monthly fair value gap, and there's some things going on. Um, Daily fair value gaps have been inverted to buy this upside move. The
Okay.
dailies have closed above, and so Here we are hitting a daily fair value gap, and if you notice here, we're getting close to discount. ES did hit the same fair value gap, but it was a discount. So sometimes not everything is perfect. You got to give it some reasoning to like, okay, the correlated asset hit discount or premium in this case, discount for the move, and ES hit it and NQ didn't. In a way, that's a little bit of SMT, and probably there's another one or something here, and we start tumbling a bit. Also, you can see there's an inverted weekly volume imbalance that we hit. So prices seem bearish, and I trade market maker model. So if you sort of just look at this for a second, you could view this as like the original consolidation, right? One accumulation, another accumulation.
Mm-hmm.
Smart money reversal. I'm thinking, all right, we're probably going to come down to here. We have some sort of low resistance liquidity here. However, we are like a bit bullish, and let's see here. Um, there's a monthly volume imbalance, monthly fair value gap in this area that you know hadn't been hit before. And I'll show you. Excuse me, sorry, I'm all over the place a little bit. So these hadn't been hit before, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can sort of see. And so it's like, okay, we should have some bullish reaction, even though we've dug pretty deep into it. And so I have those there sort of as a reminder. Great reminding they did for me today. I hope this is in the same place. Oh my god, that'd be crazy. Okay, yeah, we're good. Sorry. So we don't get too carried away. But I'm still thinking, all right, we might come back to here, and I sort of forgot about all this. Um, oh no, I didn't sort of forget about all this. I sort of see all this, and then I'm like, all right, let's go. And so let me just get to the trade. The trades. So this is a collection of trades. This has been sort of my problem lately.
Okay.
I either get in the trade too early and take unnecessary losses, or I sort of mismanage the trade. Sometimes because I already took prior losses, sometimes just because of whatever, and I start to maybe want to reduce risk. So like maybe this is my outright stop, but then I'm looking for like a close of this PD array or something, right? That I'll also take as a stop.
Okay.
And for some reason, those alternate stops don't seem to work that great for me that much. Sometimes they save me, but usually if I just wait for the right entry, structure something like this where you can see in these three trades, at least the R is good. They're above 2 in all of them.
Yeah.
That, it should be okay, and I shouldn't be a pussy. But, like, sometimes you are. So, okay. So you'll notice here, part of the market maker model, back to the 5 minute, London high, Asia high. We came and we took both, right? It took Asia, continued up, swept here. It's 4 hour fair value gap and also an hourly fair value gap back there. Then we start breaking structure down. We had a news event at 8:30. Here, as you can see, we start making fair value gaps and stuff on the way down. 5 minutes, there's a fair value gap here. There's some here, right? Also on the 15 minute, there's one there. So like lows, at least on the 5, are being broken and displaced through, and there's a fair value gap there. And as you can see, like from the hourly, if our bias is to short, we can sort of like think that. But we're not even here ready yet. This thing sort of happens and it digs through. And so I made standard deviations from here. I think some of these I moved up, but you can sort of see from this area, from this swing low, because I'm looking at this low that takes out the London high. We have a 4 standard deviation here. It could be means to see like a little bit of a reversal or right in here. Sort of looking at that. And then so this sets up for like, okay, we might be looking for a reason to long. Also right here, this is true week open, but this also a daily volume imbalance that has not tag yet.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
it's set for a bounce, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. Right? We're in the 5 minute. Now, the reason I went to the five is so we have the right time frame alignment. So remember, we're in the monthly fair value gap, right? We keep messing around with. We're under midnight and 8:30 opening price. Okay. On this manipulation right here,
Mm-hmm.
we're hitting the 2.5 standard deviation that also aligns with this 4 in this sort of area. So I'm expecting at least a retrace. So I'm going to be aiming for like 50% of the range, maybe more, depending. But lately I've been taking really light trades, so I haven't been able to hang on too long. I'm sort of working on that. Just hanging on for longer before I even take a first trend.
Okay.
Um, or maybe, I'll just add another position and be fine with it. So we're going to look at the five. I'm going to look for a reasoning, hit the CE of this hourly, maybe even a whole fill of this hourly can give me a reason. Notice we made a short term low here. So it might have generated some liquidity on the way down. Um, and there we go. So I'm thinking longs, and I have like a pretty strong bias. It's just like remember.
Okay.
And then we start doing this here. Okay. Could be another manipulation. It's a 2.5. This is why you try not to rush things. Very quick recovery. Looks very much like a V-shaped recovery. And
Mm-hmm.
if you notice, inverts a 5 minute fair value gap and
Mm.
makes another one.
Okay.
So at this point, I'm like, all right, we'll enter and I on this fair value gap here, place my stop here. Should I make these invisible or does it not matter?
I think you should keep them. It gives a nice
Okay,
bit
okay,
of.
okay. So this is a pretty nice RR. I'm thinking of this like really I should be aiming for the two, but I just see that we have a 15-minute untouched fair value gap. So I'm going to be sort of safe within 62 points. It's over a 2R.
Mm-hmm.
Usually my first trim is at the 2R or more if I'm doing it right. Try not to
Yeah.
be, try to be a little bit whatever. So I get entered in, right? And then, yeah, I think I managed this on the 5 as well. We go here. We go here. Then we go here. Hold on. Maybe I managed this on. Oh yeah, this is exactly right. Okay, so this is what happens here. I'm like, I write in my journal. At this point, the way that we were looking, I was like, if we close with a 1 minute candle under the 5,
Mm-hmm.
I'll close as well. Because it just, I was like, yeah, the displacement isn't like that convincing for
Okay.
me, even though at first it was. And I'm like, it could just re-need to sweep. Maybe like I'm in too early. Even though you can see here, like, it made hit the thing and then like re-swept. And like, this is still pretty decent. This is under like the halfway of this wick. Really, I'm looking for a close under the mean threshold, the 50% of this order block. So it's sort of here, and I'm just like a little worried that it may come and test it, and like I decided to get out for like a small loss.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Okay.
and then this happens. I'm
Oh
like,
no.
huh. And so this first one is a loss,
Okay.
right? I got stopped out
Re-entered.
here. Yes, and as you can see, I probably got out somewhere. Just like I re-entered here, looking for this. This is like I don't know, a weak version of Dodgy's like entry model online. He's a very good trader, and so I'm still in there, but it got close through, and I'm like, and this original PD array, the 50, the 5 got close through, and I'm like, dude,
Mm. Okay.
all bad, and I already hit, so 2 losses, right? By the way, let's not forget that my original is right here.
Mm-hmm.
Do do do. Almost tags it. this place was looking better, right?
Yeah.
Now we have all these and whatnot. And oh yeah, because it's back to the hourly, and I want to see it. I know that I messed up these trades. I'm like, I'll just wait for another one. I'm not gonna rush in. And as you can see here, a 5 minute order block that has been held up by this 5 minute fair value gap off of this volume imbalance, daily volume imbalance, and this hourly fair value gap. All this, align into that being a high probability order block. So I'm like, all right,
Okay.
dude, what the fuck? That's weird. So I am like, I'll draw this. I won't even enter off here. I'll wait till it tags it to like give me just waiting, right? And I get tagged in.
Tagged. Okay.
And instantly hits the TP of like 43 points, and like it clears up all this because remember these losses were very small, right? One was like the this getting stopped out actually here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like 9 points, 9.75 points, and then this one was like here, so it was like 18ish points. So between them both, like 27 points. This goes up, I make some money. It's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Clears it out, I end up green. But then, like, this is the problem, and this is why this trade is also trash. I did all this work. It's like moving up, and like, sure, maybe trim one, but like, do you not believe in the play? Because of all this nonsense, I forgot my reasoning for being in the play. And just remember that on a day like today, I got out in like the 355 area originally. And this thing just does nothing but fucking run all day. I forget. Like, still never really, maybe like hit the stop, maybe a retrace, but like this thing just keeps going. If I'm still waiting for a close under that area, doesn't seem like it really gets it even. Yeah, it doesn't. Right?
Yeah.
So I never get stopped out. And then it just goes fucking to the 2, to the 3, and also why not for good measure, And we're not going to use the earnings candle, which absolutely delivered, but that is pre-earnings.
Yep.
So as you can see, my first trade was fine. I jumped in it. I did too much. I could have been solid. I could have put, just trimmed appropriately. Even instead, I got out way too soon and was already done with like profits. But like, if we do all this work, you know, for all this shit, like, might as well just stick with the rules and let it really stop me out. Instead, I
100%.
over manage my position. Then I try to jump back in. This is like a little bit higher than I want. No, and by the way, if you enter in here, it's okay. But like, see if the lows like get hit. And like, this is why sometimes it's tough to put your stop right there because like it's obviously rejecting the low. So this is why lately I've been sort of pulling back my stop or just waiting for the close. Sometimes it gets a little rough, a little scary.
Yeah.
So I
That's
guess I got
it's.
scared.
I honestly,
Fucked
I
up.
think there's two things that I really noticed in those trades. I really like the first two trades, because it really showed sort of BJ's mindset, and the two stop outs, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like although the first position was technically well thought out, you had that
Mm-hmm.
inversion fair value gap, you were looking for higher liquidity, you did your daily bias, etc. I feel like that first trade really was well planned. In fact, it never ended up hitting your actual planned stop loss.
Yep.
And the trade would have actually been green, and it would have went fine. I think more of I just want to refer to what VJ said, which was absolutely on the head, which he said that it was the micromanagement, and it's sort of something that can be negative and positive at the same time. Micromanaging could technically reduce your risk, quote unquote, but at the same time, it shouldn't, you shouldn't micromanage a position that was planned out from start to finish. In this situation, it was two or one very well thought out trade that VJ placed. Everything went well. The parameters of his trades was fantastic. It's just that mentality of trying to minimize his risk really made him stop out and then re-enter and then stop out and then re-enter again. And then it's sort of that, entering and exiting positions is really that the cause for the initial micromanaging. And I feel like that micromanaging is such a common thing that a lot of traders do. We just try to fucking push our stop and try to, if this candle closes like this, I'm going to get out, you know. And on the one hand, it's good. But if you remember that, listen, you spent 15 minutes before this trade planning it out, planning your stop loss, planning your take profits. Sometimes you need to let the trade be, let the trade parameters just let it happen, and not be FOMO, not be emotionally controlled by the candlesticks. And this was a great explanation on how, if you do let that micromanagement actually play out in your trades, you do start to reduce that risk, micromanaging and pushing up the stop as much as possible. You start to exit and then re-enter and then exit and then re-enter. And it's that sort of exiting and re-entering that really can cause a lot of mistakes to happen afterwards. You set up a great trade, it went from a great well-planned trade to entering and exiting quite quickly, getting a little emotional, playing the more, chasing the actual trade you planned out. That sort of whole attitude I feel like came from the initial micromanaging the trade. And that's sort of the reminder of you sort of do have to let the parameters of your trade play out, especially if you set up the trade previously. And in this situation, I feel like VJ did a great job to, plan the trade, set up the trade. It's just as soon as he's in it, he let the candlesticks get the better of him and start to change his parameters, start to move that stop loss up. And I think that's the real mistake, in my opinion. Um,
Completely agree.
yeah, but
Because
I think it was a great, literally, I don't see a problem recently, the last couple of episodes. I don't think it's VJ's planning. VJ, well, what I've seen is VJ plans out his trades quite thoroughly, actually. He actually goes for, the 15 minutes before the trade to plan out his stop, his take profits, etc. I think it's really to do with how he acts in the trade, which is the most important. That's the crucial bit. And
that
I
is
feel like
absolutely true.
that's just the key to the lock in this scenario.
Yeah, that's a fact. It's usually I just let it play out and I would have been fine because like really it's like if I got a close and didn't meet threshold, this order block gets swept. These things
Absolutely.
happen, and like this whole idea, we get the closes over these highs with the displacement. It might even be a small fair value gap there. Like this is sort of what you're looking for. So it was thought out, but then like this over management, the micromanagement, um, was just too much. And here, this trade was, genuinely good, and
Absolutely.
but it because these were sort of better, and like I knew my entries were lower, and the likelihood that like when you get a later entry, just remember the reasonable targets. If you're souping, getting a turtle soup or like a low risk entry, you might be able to hold through all of them. This is the low risk entry. This is like a more confirmed entry. As you can see,
Mhm.
it sort of tops out at like, 75, very respectable points into the CE of this 15 minute. And then, it might need to play a market maker model retrace, of which here you can see this leg, it holds up, starts
Absolutely.
again, then you can start getting in again. You know what I'm saying? And just on the 1 minute, five, it's probably much clearer. And then you just, you
And
don't have
it gets
to.
back to that same 5 minute inversion.
Exactly, because like here reloads, takes another one. You can almost guaranteed to hit here and then pass. Here's another one, makes order block.
Absolutely.
At this point, I was already just like, well, I'm good, and like was shaky, just did not, I already hit my goals. I think ended up taking a trade a little bit later um, on the side, but like it's like there's money to be made, and a lot of times you want to protect your emotional capital. And here, even though I hit my green, I was just like, I'm great on my other account. This one was a little shaky. Let's just get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And it's probably correct decision making, but like if I was making correct decisions, we could have just ran the roller coaster up. You know?
absolutely.
And then
And it,
on some of the accounts I traded, we even had I had the ability to swing, and then it could just really take off.
yeah,
It
I
is what
think
it
it was
is.
more the and by the way, after that price action, that movement down, we really saw a good amount of respect to all bullish PDRAs, fair value gaps, order blocks, etc. It was really quite that flow of price action that you were sort of looking for in the initial trade, and that's sort of the point. It's a pity that a lot of traders they set up a good plan and a good parameter for their trade, and then they start entering the trade, and then they start moving the stop loss, and then they start moving the take profits, and then they start exiting and then re-entering and then exiting and re-entering, and then all everything to do with non-planned parameters for your initial
Yeah,
trade just lets in that FOMO mentality, lets in the chasing the market, lets in the
exactly.
the
If
moving the stop loss and
Absolutely.
getting stopped out repetitively. That's really the mindset that you get in subject of messing with your planned out trade parameters. And I feel like in
If
that situation, VJ unfortunately did one the one thing that set him off, which was to close his position. And then as soon as that happened, he re-entered, and as soon as that happened, he exited, etc., etc. It's just because of that one decision.
Yeah, it also shows that like even if you get into a move late, quote unquote, but with rules that matter,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you can still capture less of the move than maybe you might have captured and whatever, and still be very, very profitable. I mean, this trade erased these, but it just shows you like follow the rules. Even though this is higher than this by like 50 or 20 some points, this is still a valid entry. This middle one sucked. This first one was great, but over micromanaged. So these are my management of these two are directly a result of this. And mistakes will tend to compound when you know you're being a little bitch. So
Exactly.
it's a good lesson. Gotta do
I
it.
mean, there it is, man. Honestly, we all go through it. We all mess with our shit. We all feel that that chasing, super like instinctive mentality while trading. It's all about just trying to explore that algorithmic side to you. That super stoic, super hard. You know, I'm not gonna mess with my trade. I'm gonna toughen out the market, and I think that's more the mentality that traders should be having, not the chasing, not the trying to get it, not the FOMO entry, not the it's doing this now, I got to do something. It's more whether or not you can tough out the market and really show your resistance to all the emotional traps and manipulation that they do in the market every day. And it's really about that the trader mentality of whether or not you're up for all of the traps, but still staying strong with your initial trade plan. And yeah, I think that's more the moral to the episode.
Let's get it, baby. All right. So we'll probably just end the show here. You
Yeah,
got anything? Do we got any Cheez-Its? I wish we were selling more shit. I don't know
yeah,
who's
man.
up with the link. Hopefully it works.
Listen, nobody's
You
fucking
guys got
clicked
to
our
test it.
motherfucking link.
Yeah. Or click it, and then we're gonna see if it works. Buy some accounts. We love to see if it works. We haven't had any conversions. It's okay. The
Like
show, it's a
honestly,
very niche.
yeah,
But
I rather just I just I to be honest, I just want to find out if it works or not.
yeah,
Maybe
for real,
maybe you don't fucking buy a combine, but just finding out if that shit works, that'd be great help. Cause maybe it
that'd be
doesn't.
fantastic.
Maybe the link doesn't work. We never really know. But if you do click the link, you have to accept the cookies and some bullshit, man. Honestly, we selling out for $1, a couple dollars, um, and yeah,
We
we
do
got
it.
socials, we got everything, And you can hit us up if you want. Honestly, talk to me or VJ. Man, shoot us a DM. We'd love to talk to you guys.
Absolutely, absolutely. We love you. Luca, is there anything else we got to cover?
Not really. I don't think we on TikTok is doing better. We're starting to post the minute plus long videos, which is
Let's go.
is is being a lot. It's a lot better for the algorithm. We're pushing towards newer audiences, and if you haven't seen our TikToks or our Instagrams, it's more the highlights of these episodes, and more the short powerful clips that you'll find, especially if you go in the search bar. You can see all the little the sections and the topics throughout the video. It's sort of like that on TikTok and Instagram Reels, etc. And we're pushing it out, man. We're doing a lot better on Instagram and TikTok and whatever than we are on YouTube. So yeah, definitely check it out. We got a whole new world over there.
Oh, yeah. Love it.
There you go.
All right, guys. Please subscribe, follow.
Like,
Fucking send
comment.
some losers.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Love
And
this.
some nudes.
But yeah,
There
we're out of here.
you go. Talk to
All
you guys
right.
in the next episode. See you guys.
Later, guys.
Bye.